I might add some like darkness to define the the pillow. So let's add another layer and use brush tool because the pillow is kind of like really small to use gradient tool, so I would rather use brush tool for a small area. But for wider areas such as wall and floor and the ceiling or the big furniture like headboard or the bed, I recommend you to use gradient tool by selecting the area to make it more like to make more neat rendering. Even though I use brush tool, I still need to select the area. Use lasso tool, and then feather amount. I'll check this. Set the feather amount like between 2 to 5 pixel. 5 is too much. I would do like 3 pixel. And then try to define the shape of the shade. So this is how I see the shade of this pillow. And then I will use brush tool. And I might need some a little brownish color rather than just mainly black color to add some like ivory pillow look. And then I might need add some wrinkles as well. By changing the hardness of the brush and define the wrinkles. I might need to use pen tablet because with mouse I can't define. I can draw like good shape, like smooth lines with the mouse. So I would rather use pen mouse. Pen mouse is work as the same, exactly the same with the mouse, but the grip you can the gripping is different. So you can use the grip as the way you grip your pen. So it is easier for you to draw some lines. Wrinkles. Oh, I don't like that. Just change the hardness to 0 again, and then I would use softness. I can use more soft, round, pressure, opacity, and flow option with that pen brush. Make it more smooth. Okay. Now I want to add more value for that area because compared to the rendered the reference image, it has some a little value, like light value here, but it's not completely white. So I will add a little value in between two values. So use brush tool, and then I go back to the black color because I'm gonna change the opacity of the brush to make a mid-tone of in between two values. And then just keep defining the details of the wrinkle or the volumes until you find the right amount, until you're satisfied. But try not to spend too much time just for small element, because the bigger element, there are more things to work on the bigger element. So always go back to the big picture, the whole view. Before you obsess in the small elements. Tone. So you see how I try to mimic the current rendered image, reference image. So with slight difference make a big change when you finish in the whole view. So with all the small details, make some changes when you finish the whole rendering. So try to spend a little more time to define the details, the volumes, and the shapes. I highly recommend that use pen tablet. I have like 28 of them, so you feel free to check out the two device, and you will use this device for the next class activity. So it is better to get adjusted as soon as possible. Does it work? Did you finish installing? Okay.
So I have to restart my system to complete the installation? Okay.
Save the file first. So I'm gonna keep going on the bed. Translate the bed. Let's compare the two view again. Two up vertical. And so I was going to render I was going to render the window frame, the patio door frame. I'm going to add another layer, and then select. I will just rather use brush tool because to save my time. It's just black, just adding some black darkness. Use shift key, hold shift key to create straight line. If you like to use like vertically straight lines, hold the shift key first and then draw a line to create vertical or horizontal straight lines. But if you like to have any like diagonally straight line, click the starting point first and then hold the shift key and then click the end point. My computer stopped. I'll save my file. This is the one bad side effect of using pen tablet is that your computer became a little slower. So always press Ctrl S key to save your file. And that works. So let's change the opacity to 40, and then I'll change the hardness as well, because I want it for the frame. I need a little more clean edge. So I'm gonna add another line. Oops, too dark. To here. Until you find a similar amount of value with the reference image. My computer keeps stopping. So the moment when you find that your computer stops is that when you hover your mouse on the panel around the edge of the screen, if if your cursor symbol is not changing to the arrow shape, the default cursor shape, it means your computer is still calculating for other orders you placed. So I need to wait until it finishes calculating, or it might stop working. The computer might die if it could not successfully finish calculating. think I need to restart my computer. Okay, so let's keep working on the rendering, the window frame. Oh, I don't like that layer. Let's delete the whole layer. So create a new layer, and then I'll use select tool to make things more defined, and use feather amount 2 pixel. Try to avoid the thickness area of the window frame, because the area doesn't need the shadow. I mean the shading, the darkness. I'll use subtract tool because I accidentally closed my selection. So I will use subtract tool because I don't want to start over a whole selection. It doesn't work?
What?
Does it work?
No, it does. I was just trying to figure out what was doing. I think it downloaded.
You download it? How can you
Did I just plug it in now?
yes. Okay, I'm gonna add selection for the area. Does it work?
Opening it up.
I mean, just play. Use a pen tool. Did you connect the? Did you plug in the?
Yeah, I connected it.
And then use pen tool whether it works.
Yeah, I'm opening up my Photoshop.
I mean, just use it as a mouse instead of using mouse. Does it work?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. Then it works. So I selected the area that I need to darken. I need to add more area for that. It's like time consuming, but let's keep working. You should not avoid time consuming, like boring work, because like 80% of your work will be boring. That is mostly like time consuming, that adding some material, define. As a designer, most of the work, the creative part of the work is like 20 or 10% or 20%, and most of the rest of the work will be like just defining and then make you visualize your work. So you should develop your patience. since I selected the area, I can be more freedom, adding some value. Yay! So even in the same frame, some area is darker than the other area. So we compare to this area, and this area. So you see the different those three frames, those three columns have different value. So try to find the difference, find the relationship between each element. Why those difference made? Let's see, I press Ctrl D to deselect the selection, and then let's zoom out to see, and then let's see the difference. I guess it's getting closer to the rendered, the reference image. And let's change the layer to multiply, and then maybe we might not need to change opacity. I mean, I'm really happy with the current value I got. Okay. And then she has, I mean, the person adds some shade already. I mean, she did really great job. She did really great job. But I need to I'm gonna just add another shade because I need to. What I'm going to do is use brush tool a little to cover a little bigger area, and then I'll select a little brown add a little orange, a brown color, dark brown color, to give some, like, you see that the color of the shadow has some orange. So I'm gonna use that, and then click the starting point, and then hold the shift key, and then click the end point. Just getting closer to I'm gonna paint first and then define the edge. Use shift key to make straight lines. Skip stop working. It's so annoying. Okay. Until you find the right amount of darkness. And change the layer option to multiply. maybe I might need to use smaller brush to define the texture underneath the rock. Just add the extra strokes. Too much. Too much. Okay. Just a small amount of lines. Then it would be better to use irregular lines. And define more on the the corner right below the bed frame. Oh, look different. Okay. Okay, I will use that. Cassandra,
Yeah.
do you think the tablet would work better to render?
I was kind of just playing around with it.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't really start doing some of the stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too. Have a nice week. Oh, have a nice week.
Yeah, you don't have to come.
No, you don't have to come on Wednesday. But see you on next Monday.
Alright.
Bye.
Bye.
I think I'm almost there. So, just adding some darkness on the edge. Yes, I like it a lot. So here is the original rendered image, and she did really great job. I really liked her work. But compared to the reference image, there are like small difference. She follows all the concept for rendering really well, but there are a few things she missed, but still overall she did a great job. But since we are the assignment, today's activities is enhancement, and I will enhance her rendering as close as possible to the reference image. So here is the thing what we got so far from the beginning. So here to there. So you might tell the difference. Just keep adjusting the color, the amount of the application by modifying the opacity until you find the right amount of shade. Let's compare to this and this. Here, this, and this, and this. And I upload all the rendered image on Reginet as well, or at the very end of this footage. Okay, hope you finish your assignment until Monday, and I will give you like 30 minutes to ask some questions right before we start another activity on Monday. And I'll stay in my office from 9:30 to 2 right before the class. So always welcome to visit my office with some questions. Okay, so hope you finish your assignment, submit your assignment with great enhancement, and I hope you fix all the issues I put it out through the rubric sheet, so you can get some good grades for that. Okay, hope you see you next time, and then see you. Bye.